welcome to the Ketchup Corner. If you're watching us on YouTube, you will see the setup's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a wider camera angle. We call that a wide shot in film.
And there's a third chair.
Wow. I wonder who that is. It's certainly not Yoda. It's certainly not Mace Windu. It's not Babu Frick, I don't think. Did we get Babu Frick?
Oh, stop.
Did we get Babu Frick on the show? Dang, that's cool. Well, I mean, not a Star Wars character, but we did get a special guest.
Our first special guest on the podcast. I'm so excited.
Wow.
Let's welcome Connor.
Get in here. Oh, shit.
Let's do this. Let's fucking go. Oh, God, I am so excited for this. As you guys know, I love Star Wars, so when you guys invited me, I was so excited to join.
Well, I'm so glad you are, because today we're going to talk about the sequel trilogy.
What?
Yeah. The sequel trilogy. The sequel to the original, to the prequel, squeakquel, if you will, considering there's 3. Yeah, that one. You okay? You don't seem very happy. Oh, he breathed. He breathed. That's not a good sign.
Just gonna put this down.
Oh, he's gonna put it down. Okay. Well, hi, everybody. Yes, this is Connor from New School Arcade.
It's dead.
It's dead. Eventually we'll bring it back, but it's dead. First special guest, I feel like we shouldn't have had anybody else on. Anybody else would have crime. No effect. Power down faster, lightsaber. Anyways.
It needed a minute.
It needed a minute, just like Connor needs a minute to this. So, Connor is our best friend for many, many years. Great content creator if he actually did content. Anyways.
I mean, you're right.
But anyway, sorry, almost went to the dark side. But this is a great episode indeed. Our best friend. I feel like, as much as we love our other content friends, I feel like it'd be weird to have anybody else on first. But I also sound farther away, and I'm so sorry for that. Also, no, I'm not. You'll live with the audio when you fix the damn door. Anyways, sequel trilogy. Connor, walk us through your history with Star Wars, and then talk to us about your initial thoughts of the sequel trilogy when The Force Awakens was first announced.
Oh, man. Well, there is a lot to talk about in terms of that.
We only got, like, an hour. An hour and a half.
I can do a lot in an hour.
So can I. Ask my wife.
Oh my. Okay. Star Wars.
I thought this was a family-friendly podcast.
No, it's not.
No.
All right.
Please continue.
And then again, I did say fuck. Anyway.
I say fuck every episode.
Yeah. So, well, interestingly enough, I wasn't a Star Wars fan until I was in high school. Until I was a freshman in high school. I got into it pretty late. Because, you know, for the longest time I was just like, oh, okay, it's a sci-fi movie that just happens to be famous, like, okay, yeah, okay, you got the lightsaber, iconic piece of, like, science fiction, and then you got the furry guy going, like, okay, but that was my attitude for, like, the longest time.
You sound like Stewie.
Oh, did I?
Chewbacca.
But for the longest time, like, there was still so much hype behind it. Like there were still, like, people going, like, dressing up, and still, like, so much hype for, like, stuff coming out for it. Like, people at conventions, people at movie premieres. I'm like, wow, maybe there's something bigger behind this. Maybe I was a little too quick to judge. So when I was 13, yeah, I'd say 13, because I was a freshman, I watched the original trilogy and immediately fell in love. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I was like, what was I missing out on?
A lot, apparently.
A lot. I was missing out on a lot. And then after that, I got into the novels, and then the comics, and then the video games, and I was just super into it. And then, come 2015...
Yeah, Force Awakens, 2015.
I was a junior... And I believe I was a sophomore at the time it was announced, and a junior by the time it came out.
Because you were a year behind us in high school.
Yes,
so.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was super excited. I was like, wow, amazing. Like, we've got, just as I'm starting to board on, we're getting a new Star Wars movie. Awesome. Right?
And it set box office records.
It really did.
It did. The whole trilogy technically did in many ways.
And I remember, and I went to see it with my dad and my brother, who were both also big Star Wars fans. and we had the best time. We absolutely loved it. We went out like, oh my god, Star Wars is back. We absolutely loved it, and I was hyped. I was even more hyped than I was before with just in general for Star Wars. I was ready. I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna get next? And then okay. Fast forward a couple years. Rogue One had already come out, which was also a great movie. I was like, man, Disney has got this in the bag. I'm like, let's go. And then the first trailer for The Last Jedi arrived, and I was like, okay, a little different than what I would have expected, but all right, let's see where it goes.
And then we went to see it as a midnight premiere.
Went to see it as a midnight
premiere. That was my
premiere.
first ever midnight premiere for a movie.
I believe it was mine too.
Yeah, I think it was for both of us. It was you, me, Brian.
It was Brian and a few other people.
And who else? A couple people we
didn't really know.
I think it was from Brian's friend.
Yeah, it was from Brian's friend. I don't think he even sees them anymore. But
either way, we went
to go see it. The movie starts, and I'm like, okay, all right, what? All right.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. That was me the whole fucking movie.
He's going through the whole thought process.
That movie. So, I kid you not, I sat through that movie. You
sure did. There were seats.
I sat through Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
And then
that movie. Oh my god. I don't know. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory.
Oh, we're gonna.
We will.
I was going to say we should.
We were just introducing you and your history to it, but we're going to go into each movie.
Yeah, so I could not stand that movie.
And then Rise of Skywalker came out.
Now, Rise of Skywalker, now everyone says that's the worst one, and it is. Yes. But here's the thing: I don't blame it for being the worst one because Last Jedi squandered everything. This is how I envision it. This is how I've always envisioned it. So, Force Awakens was like J.J. Abrams building a nice sandcastle, right? And it's not done yet, but it looks good so far. Mm-hmm. He's building up all these new characters. He's building up all these cool storylines. Mm-hmm. It looks good so far. And then The Last Jedi is Rian Johnson coming over and kicking over the sandcastle into his face. Like, how do you like that? And then running away. And then J.J. Abrams, for Rise of Skywalker, is like trying to rebuild the sandcastle. Like, no, we can fix this. We can make this good again. And it's like, no. They ruined too much to really, like, fix it. Like, it was too broken to fix.
Yeah, so why don't we get into the first one then? I feel like that's the easiest one for all of us to talk about.
100%
Force Awakens. Now, I like it.
I do still like it.
But I remember back in high school, a friend of mine in film class, y'all remember Kook, right? The teacher? Yeah. He stormed into the studio when everyone was talking about Star Wars and was mad. He was like, that movie fucking sucked. That was A New Hope Part 2. They were lazy with it. It was just A New Hope. They tried something new here and there, but it was boring. It was just A New Hope all over again. And in retrospect, He's not entirely wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. The main plot points, the main conveyor of the story is A New Hope. They tried some new things in between. Well, first of all, we get introduced to a new cast. You know, we get the Scavenger / New Jedi Rey. We get Stormtrooper Exile Finn, which was the newest idea, might I add.
Yeah, it was a great idea. It was so cool.
And then you got Poe, who is a great rebel pilot.
Yeah.
I love him, but not everybody likes his humor. That's probably one of the biggest things that people didn't like about this trilogy is because they thought the humor was forced. I loved Poe.
Well, here's the thing. This is around the same time, not to defend it, that people started doing what's called Marvel humor or dubbing things Marvel humor, where everything has to be a joke. The jokes... There was plenty of jokes in Star Wars, though. They felt natural.
Yeah, it naturally flowed.
But it flows a lot here, in my opinion, because it's more character to character.
Force Awakens does it very well.
That's for sure. But I will say this. What they tried to do different and would have been interesting is there. For sure. And it did spark a lot of theories. I mean, Snoke, everyone was like, is this a Palpatine clone? What are we doing with this? And then Kylo Ren, like, trying to be the next Darth Vader isn't a bad thing per se. I liked the cast, and of course getting the old cast back was great up until it wasn't. Especially Han, which we'll get to.
We'll get to later.
But again, like even Han, it feels like everything was just a new hope in a general sense. It starts with the new plans for the new spaceship. Poe, who is the princess in this case, Princess Leia, proceeds to hold them off, hides in a droid, flees, ends up on a desert planet. And then that desert planet then leads to finding Han Solo, who is escaping from someone that he's in debt to, which is those bounty hunters we never see again, with the zoo of things. And then we get the whole going to the space station itself to destroy it, but not before the main planet of the rebellion, in this case, is destroyed by said space station, in this case Coruscant, which pisses me off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Because that is a wild way to
Did
get
you say Coruscant?
Yeah, Coruscant.
It's Coruscant.
I know. I was hoping to get you pissed already.
You pissed
Yeah,
me off. You
Coruscant.
confused me. I was like, what?
No, yeah, Coruscant.
Okay.
Coruscant.
Coruscant.
Coruscantily clad plot. But, and then, like, it goes to the space station. They invade the space station, stage what they think is going to be this grand thing. Old mentor sacrifices himself. Beloved character mentor sacrifices himself, I should say, so the others can flee. Enter the final battle, quote-unquote, on the space station. The end. There's things here and there that work, though. Like, they outright show Snoke right away, compared to the build-up of Emperor Palpatine. Otherwise, I like it. I consider it better than Phantom Menace, because at least, even though it's safe, it has better set pieces consistently throughout, compared to, like, the high and then the bore fest of the middle act. But I don't know. I don't think I can place this any higher than, like, a decent 6 or 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? I like the ideas, but especially in retrospect, they go nowhere. So what do you think, honey?
I really loved this movie.
No,
I don't think it was my favorite, but
No,
I did
yeah.
really, really love it. And yes, I saw those nods to A New Hope. Like, it takes a lot of...
It's not even a nod. It's, can I have your homework?
I
Sure,
know.
to make it obvious.
I know. It does. But I loved it, and I do think it did some new things, and I really enjoyed the new things. One of the things I really want to talk about is Han and Leia's relationship and how they're kind of separated. And at first I was really upset, but when they were talking, like, you get the feeling of, like, parents who have lost a child. Like, it's really normal for parents to separate when, you know, after losing a child, and they, like, their child didn't pass away, but it just really feels like they both kind of blame themselves, Han more especially.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like they're two parents having a conversation about their child not being with them anymore, and I really liked that.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I did
Yeah.
like their dynamic, I will say. Shout out to R2-D2 being non-existent in this movie, though.
Oh
He
my
didn't show up
god,
until
he
the
was
very
depressed.
end.
He was depressed.
He was depressed.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
The
He's
robots
just
got feelings.
A baby.
Stop
But
it.
He does. They all do. Okay.
We got the equivalent of R2 in BB-8.
We got BB. I would die for BB-8. Not to be dramatic, but I would die for that little droid.
Okay, what's your next point then on that note?
I also really liked the introduction to Finn. Like, I feel like it was kind of like, I don't know, just when he was touched immediately and, like, had that smear of blood, it almost felt like it was like a wake-up moment. Like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Which
this
is
not
important.
where I belong. I need to get the fuck out of here now.
Well, technically, he doesn't belong there. The Stormtroopers stopped being clones at one point, even during the Galactic Civil War, and they started being more volunteers. And especially when it came to the First Order, it was mostly, if not all, volunteers. So he didn't belong there, technically speaking. None of them did. Which is why Captain Phasmo, one of the biggest wasted potentials of all time.
Yes.
When you hear
I was
that it's
so mad.
When you see her this badass armor and hear a female voice from her, you go,
Yeah.
that's not a regular clone stormtrooper type of thing. That's a woman.
Yeah.
So there's a lot they do differently to show that the dynamic of the galaxy has changed after the Empire, even though some things stay the same. And I appreciate it, especially Finn, who was supposed to, I feel like, be the Jedi of the group alongside Rey.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, because Finn had potential.
Really did.
Oh, he was so great when I remember watching that movie. He was fucking awesome. I really liked his character.
Let's talk about the other character that had potential and I was actually really frustrated by.
Ray.
So, no, actually. The villain of the movie.
Oh, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Oh.
Anakin / Darth Vader was angry. Yes. Had so much anger and resentment in him.
Toxic masculinity.
But he used it as a power source.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren is just a big fucking baby.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. He literally
Wait.
throws multiple fucking temper tantrums through this whole thing.
Wait. His lightsaber's sick.
That doesn't mean anything.
It is.
Though.
It was.
And like,
I thought,
and the fact his kyber crystal is unstable is symbolic of his anger, and I love that touch. I just wish they used more of it.
But he's a big baby.
Oh, so are you. Okay? Listen, no, I'm saying this as if I don't agree, but I do agree. I'm just being a shit ass.
And the relationship.
No. We can't go there
We'll talk about
yet.
that in a minute. We'll talk about that in the next one, because it really comes to a head in the next one. But like, I have thoughts.
Oh yeah, the Ren and Rey relationship. Yeah. Okay. What about Rey herself? What'd you think?
I didn't mind her. I don't know why everyone hates her.
Because she's a woman.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. That's about right. I mean, she's not Luke is also the issue. And that's a lot of people's issue. She's not Luke and she's not Anakin. But that's a good thing in this regard.
When I
she's
did
not
some
bad.
research, it seemed like a lot of people didn't like that it came easy to her.
Okay. But it kind of came easy to Luke after a while, too.
Like, Luke, you've seen A New Hope, right? Luke is amazing
I would hope
in that
you have.
movie. He's literally amazing in that
The only
movie.
time he isn't amazing is when he's doing the training for 5 seconds with the little training sphere that they have from the Jedi Academy. And then afterwards, he's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then he never looks back other than against Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Like, and Anakin, listen, the only reason he had it not easy is because he threw temper tantrums. This dude literally was the chosen one. They tested his blood and went, yo, he's legit. This dude with R2-D2, piloted, I mean, it was on autopilot a lot, but he used R2 to help out. They took down a separatist ship.
Yeah.
After nothing.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Rey definitely had some shit easier, but also, too, like, she isn't exactly... And I feel like this is a reflection of the original movie going back to A New Hope. It's not like it's, that easy. She's a scavenger. She comes from a desert planet, much like Luke. So if you're gonna be mad about Rey having it easy, be pissed that Luke had it easy after, 5 seconds of training. Like... There's no way you can say one without the other at this point. Like, yes, I think it's the easiest of the 3, but it's also still, this is Luke again.
My argument to that is the movie is called The Force Awakens, not The Force Needs Training.
Not the Force honk shoes.
I also really liked the pacing in this one.
Pacing was good.
One of my complaints about some Star Wars movies is the pacing, and that it takes forever to get to the fucking point.
I mean, yeah.
But I think this one was really well paced. It was action packed through the whole thing.
It really was.
It was fun. It was entertaining. There were some really stupid jokes, but I love a good stupid joke. Ask Connor.
Yeah,
he makes them all the time.
We both do.
So I really, really enjoyed this movie. I know Benson said probably a 6 or 7. I might give it an 8. Maybe a 9.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go 7.5.
Really? Yeah, I see. I really like it.
It's still a decent.
I had a
But
I had a blast.
I just
when
can't get
watched
over
it
the
for
fact
first
that
time.
it's just A New Hope Part 2. And especially in retrospect, when you look at those new points and how wasted they are, you kind of look and go, yeah, never mind. This goes nowhere. So maybe that's the bias as well, looking back. But even when I first saw it, it's A New Hope. But let's go over the treatment of the old cast as well for this movie. This cast, how do we feel about it? Leia and Han especially, because Luke we see for 5 seconds. Because the whole point is that he's missing. He's gone.
Right.
Up and ghosted, went out for milk and cigarettes, never returned, and they're trying to find him.
Went out for blue milk.
Went out for alien titty milk.
That was the worst scene ever.
We'll get there.
Oh, that was green milk. We're talking about blue milk.
Okay, but how do you feel about the old character? Especially you, because you've, officially watched this for the first time.
I understand.
Uh-oh.
I don't love it, honestly. I mean, it was fun seeing the cameos, but you have to understand this is introducing a whole new generation.
Okay. Where are you going with this? Just the treatment.
I mean, like, it sucks the way that things happen, and we'll talk about it more in the next one. But, like, we gotta know that they aren't gonna stay around forever. I do not love what happened with Han Solo.
He died.
I do not love that Kylo Ren killed his father. I mean, I think it was an epic way to do it.
To be fair, Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo dead a long time ago.
He did.
You knew at some point it was going to
And they still brought him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they still kind of brought him back.
But, I mean, they're not going to stick around forever, sure. But you could have at least had them be, like, a lesser cameo as generals like Leia does. Like, Leia doesn't get in the action as much. She's taking the front lines as a general.
But it's symbolic.
It is symbolic.
Which is symbolic.
It's they have to move on for a new generation to begin.
Okay, but Ghostbusters is the same way, and they're still alive. My point is, and this is my issue with
Maybe
movies...
they won't be forever.
Shut the fuck up over there. No. Okay, this is my issue with films, and this is why I get mad a little bit with these movies. And this is why... Because, again, A New Hope Part 2. But here's my issue with it especially. You don't have to kill off the older generation to do the passing of the torch.
No, I agree.
If anything, it's so overdone at this point that it makes it lesser. And you know who started it? Put your hand down, I'm ranting. Han Solo's death.
Yeah, no.
Ever since that moment
it really
where they
did kinda start
recreated
that.
A New Hope Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, every passing of the generation, other than Ghostbusters, which fumbled itself anyways after Afterlife, like, genuinely, the mentor dies. Or the mentor is there, and it's like, you know, it's so stupid, it's so annoying, and the fact that you, like, make it a thing throughout this trilogy, everyone except for, spoilers, I guess, Lando has a fake-out death. Chewbacca, fake-out death. C-3PO, his memory wiped. And then R2 just magically fixes it anyways. Han Solo dies to his own son. You know, Princess Leia reached out to the Force to distract her son. Dies. Luke Skywalker dies. The only death of those three, or the only two deaths of those three that feel completely justified, are Luke, which could have been better anyways, and Han. I get Carrie Fisher died, and it's a horrible thing. Rest in peace to her. But there's better ways to respect her character than that. Way better ways.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like if you're going to do a death like Leia's, you need to do it right. And I feel like it wasn't built for that. Luke, he was, in my opinion, my bet throughout these movies, the one that was going to die. So that was my impression. Mm-hmm. And it happened. I just wish it was different, I guess. Han... most surprising, but when you look back at the general plot line and the fact that Luke was missing throughout, of course he was gonna die. The old mentor character everybody loves from the other trilogy needed to die, much like Obi-Wan did. There are better ways to respect your old legacy cast than just bringing them on to pass the torch and then die. Way better ways to do it.
That's fair. So I have a question for you, since we're on this topic.
What?
Do you think media in general,
yes,
like when they're bringing back a movie franchise like Star Wars
or
like Ghostbusters, do you think bringing back those cameo characters kind of ruins it because now you're using your old characters?
Depends on how you use them, because this is my issue with Frozen Empire. You introduce the old cast back in Afterlife, great. After credit scene, Winston wants to bring the Ghostbusters back. Great. But then in Frozen Empire, he raises the question, are we too old for this? And they never answer it! At all!
Yeah, no, they never really answer it.
They never answer the question.
Actually, I feel like they do. I feel like the answer is no.
But it's such a cast-aside thing when you're setting up this new legacy with Egon's kids, who don't do anything much in Frozen Empire anyways.
I mean, no one really does much in that movie.
No, except for Paul Rudd, because his fucking character's amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And then Spider-Man No Way Home.
Gotta love Mr. Gruberson.
No Way Home, yes, No Way Home suffers from nostalgia of the movie, where if the movie didn't have the nostalgia, it may not be as good. And even then, it's still good. I just feel like if you don't use any of those movies in that plot, it wouldn't be as good, in my opinion. But the way Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come in, play great mentors, and despite the fake out to Tobey, don't die and make Tom Holland's Spider-Man's resolve more passionate than ever to be Spider-Man, the fact this is literally my perfect example of nostalgia. It's not great by any means in some cases, especially with Sandman and the Lizard, but at the end of the day, it still changes trajectory while setting course for the future of the current iteration and the current heroes. It's a passing of the torch across a multiverse that worked perfectly. Star Wars, there were snippets throughout where they passed the torch, I agree, but then killing them off ruins it. Because now you're like jumping these new characters into the role of the legacy cast in many cases where we just don't appreciate them yet. Like, you're gonna tell me Poe is the new Leia Organa, and like the only thing he has to his name being feisty like Leia is by trying to buy time for the rebellion to be like, or Finn to be like, hey, we're gonna make sure we all stay on this ship that's currently being bombarded anyways? No! I like Poe, but it jumped so fast. And he didn't even get to breathe. And yes, I know the final battle was looming. They were on a time crunch. But, like, you don't get to do that. Especially when you're hyping up Rey to be the next Luke and Leia at the same time. It doesn't work like that. You can't do that. And that's my whole issue with the old cast. Great nostalgia, but the fact that they're just there to pass the torch and then fuck off, there's no substance to it at one point. They're there for the ride. The best one, though, is Leia, because at least she still shows she still got it, and that's it. And it's such a disrespect to the legacy, in my opinion.
What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, no, the thing with it is that, like...
Hey, yo, watch your leg. You're going to knock my TV over.
No, imagine. The thing with it is, like, I feel like they...
You got this.
It's hard to explain. They don't understand that they have to... It's not enough to just bring them back. You have to, A, tell a story with them, and B, respect what came before. You can't just have them show up and be like, look, they're back. You can't... Okay, what do they do the whole movie?
I can tell you
what... not really much, but they're back.
I can tell you what. They capture Captain Phasma and Han goes... and Finn goes, what do we do with her? And he goes, that depends. Got a trash compactor? That's their respect. They paid homage. Ha ha ha!
That was funny. I like that, though. But... And yeah, no, I remember with Captain Phasma in The Last Jedi, I was like, okay. That... All right.
Yeah. Kylo Ren, I feel like, at least in the first movie, was done right. And
the first movie, yeah.
No. I want to hear it. I want to say this. Because he's the epitome of trying to capture the legacy and failing and proving that he's going to be his own thing no matter what. His whole shtick is that he is trying to go after the legacy of his grandfather, Darth Vader. Okay? He has his whole burnt helmet and everything. He wants to be Darth Vader. And he fails, and he fails, and he fails, and he fails. And eventually, there's this thing that clicks in his head where he realizes he can be better than Darth Vader in a way. Like, yeah, he's going to keep worshiping Vader, but he can be better. And that moment is when he kills off Han Solo. Because he realizes he doesn't have the strength to do what he needs to do. And him killing the past is so symbolic of that whole legacy character thing. And it works. And it pisses me off more looking at Kylo Ren in the future 2 movies, what happened with that. But that's why it works in The Force Awakens. Because that is an idea that they brought to the table where he is better than the legacy. He's not trying to pass the torch. He's trying to absolutely chuck it, like, pass the torch. He's trying to take the torch, chuck it into the ocean, and go, this is my shit now. That's it. And that's why it works so well. It's so damn good for that. And that is my one saving grace for Kylo Ren in this trilogy. Sorry for all you book talkers out there. Get some deodorant. Get a room.
You know, Kylo Ren, I was so disappointed with, like, how it turned out, because I remember being surprised by his face. I was like, wait, really? What the fuck? It's okay. Like, yeah. I remember, like, because he was built up so well. Like,
he was!
Like, he had the mask, and he was menacing, and it was like, oh my god, this guy's scary. Like, he's cool. He's menacing, and he takes off the mask, and you're like, wait,
He's a pretty boy.
Like Napoleon Dynamite?
No. He's a pretty boy, and he's a Redditor. That's exactly what it is.
And I'm just like, but I'm like, oh, okay, you know, or at least he's like a cool villain. And then, and then the next two movies, I'm just like, okay, I don't.
And then there's
care.
Snoke.
And you know, Snoke could have been handled a lot better, and there was a lot that was.
We'll get to that with Last Jedi, yeah.
Oh my god.
But Snoke, and this is why I have thoughts on this trilogy, which I'm going to save towards the end. But Snoke is the shining example of my entire issue with this trilogy, and to give Last Jedi a little slack. But we'll get there when we get there, because oh my god. Anyways, the action of this movie. We didn't get to talk about that yet. We've been talking about everything else. What'd you think, honey?
I mean, we talked about it a little bit when you walked into the kitchen, but I think it was so action-packed. Like, this movie was not dull.
Yeah, it didn't lack in the action.
No, like, it started action right away. There was no badly paced sections.
Yeah.
And I think the action had a lot to do with that. I loved the battle scenes.
Can I give my honest opinion about the lightsaber scenes, especially?
That's what we're here for.
They're the weakest trilogy. They are the weakest.
In terms of lightsaber battles?
Yes.
In terms of lightsaber battles, yes.
In general battles, arguably all around the best. Arguably, like the set pieces are clearly better, but then again, like, but it doesn't beat the highs of Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith, especially. Or Return of the Jedi, in my opinion. Or Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
But all around in regards to consistency, this is the best in regards to battles. I'm going to say that. I think in regards to consistency, it's constantly action-packed, like you said. Greatly choreographed. I just think the lightsabers are the weakest. But the soundtrack was banging, though.
Yeah.
But also, I'm going to argue this is the weakest overall soundtrack of the trilogies.
Agreed.
Also, because it uses...
It wasn't very memorable.
Well, I love John Williams, but it's because he remixed all the themes from the past trilogies, especially the original.
Maybe that's why I don't remember, because it all just blended in.
Which sounded like
movies.
Bad.
It's not bad.
No, but it's if you're trying to stand out, it's not as memorable.
I think it should have had its own unique themes.
Yeah, and it sucks especially that this is the last Star Wars main project, I should say, that he composed work for. You know?
Yeah.
But... is there anything else anybody wants to add for Force Awakens before we get...
No, I think we can get into the most hated film
Actually,
out of this
I will
group.
say this.
Not yet!
Force Awakens, I think, visually had some of the best Star Wars designs that have ever come out. I think.
Okay, yeah.
I think because it went back to the practicality of it and sort of the rigid retro look, I think it really helped it.
That's true. That is true.
I think it absolutely had, like, visually had some of the best Star Wars stuff we've ever seen.
It also has the iconic one-liners like "traitor,"
yeah,
and then just beats his shit. You know, that one. It has those at least. It's got some memorability to it, and I really wish that like the original stuff like Finn got to shine even more in this film, let alone the trilogy. But it was an exciting moment to be a Star Wars fan.
It was very exciting at the time.
And then it happens. The Last Jedi.
Connor, do you want to start us off?
Actually, wait, I should probably explain the plot for this one. So we pick up where Force Awakens left off, where Rey, after R2-D2 suddenly goes, oh, I'm not depressed. Just kind of finds...
Because that's how that works.
Just kind of... Yeah, I wish that's how that works. Kind of just puts the coordination into everybody where it's like, let's go find Luke. So Rey goes to Luke on this deserted island on a planet, and we pick up with that where she's going to try to take training from Luke. And then also there's a lot of First Order Resistance stuff in the background as well, especially with the Resistance trying to flee an Imperial Star Destroyer. Or First Order Star Destroyer, sorry. So, yeah, that's where we last left off. And that's where we pick up. And that's just basically it. Connor, go ahead and start us off, buddy.
Okay. Well, the opening of the movie is Poe Dameron prank calling the First Order.
I loved that scene, though.
And, like, I'm watching this, like, really?
But
like,
I liked it.
This is how they... No, like, this is the First Order we're talking about. That's one X-Wing. They would have not wasted any time. They're like, okay, this guy's bullshitting us, and they would have blown him up. I'm not, like...
Well, wait, to give him credit, though, each side is guilty in the other trilogies of taking the other ship. Yeah. Every damn time.
True.
And it's not any better than Han's Return of the Jedi trick where he goes tap tap on someone's shoulder, makes them turn around, and then punches them.
Yeah.
It's not much better than that.
Okay.
That's Looney Tunes, if anything.
Right, but like, fucking, oh my god. It was just a ridiculous fucking scene.
But it worked for him, though.
For him, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, but I was like, really? This is the strategy they have? Just stall until everyone gets here?
And it works!
I don't think it was the strategy that they had. I think it was the strategy that Poe had.
I mean, Han did the same thing, though, when they were rescuing Leia from the cell block.
Tap, tap, run away.
Like, when they're rescuing her from the cell block and he's trying to fill in as a stormtrooper, that was distracting at its finest. But...
yeah, but I think what made that work was because, like, they didn't know that they were friggin'...
which is a great counterpoint.
Here, they do, and they're just listening, like, what the fuck is he talking about? Blow him up!
But again, but again, wait a minute. Again, throughout Star Wars history, everybody steals the other person's ship.
And?
All the time.
So?
And, like, they have to be like, hold your fire, this could be one of ours.
I see what you're saying. Like,
you know what I mean?
It might be one of them.
Exactly.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I mean, we were rewatching the Clone Wars movie for this podcast, and they stole Asajj Ventress's ship.
Okay, you know what? All right, I'll give you credit there.
Like, every time, they always steal ships. So,
Yeah.
it's not out of the realm. It's still a weird setup, and it's just jarring, I agree. But if you look at the galaxy, this is, like, the not the first time this has happened.
I'll give you a point there. You do.
I mean, even in the games, they acknowledge it. Battlefront 2, you could steal enemy ships during space battles.
Always fucking
so,
cool.
there's that, but please continue your rant.
And you know what's funny? That it was... even the action was so boring.
Yeah.
I was bored out of my goddamn mind watching
was
this movie.
not that great.
It's like... parts that should have been thrilling looked so bland. And I'm just, like, the whole movie looked bland. The whole movie looked boring.
The final planet I liked. The final planet was a gorgeous red.
Yeah.
And it worked.
I mean, it looked nice, but I feel like it was all for naught. But
the action wasn't that good, though.
The action wasn't that good. Like, it was an interesting concept, but I feel like, I don't know, like, it just didn't... It should have wowed me, and it didn't.
That's fair.
Like, I was sitting there like... yeah, no, I mean, this should impress me, but it just doesn't.
Which is valid.
And I can't. And then of course, like, and then we cut to Rey on whatchamacallit.
I forget the planet.
I forget because I don't fucking care. But like.
Alien titty milk.
I swear to God,
the greatest scene of all time.
And it leaves off right at that moment where she's handing him his father's lightsaber. And I remember the ending of Force Awakens when that happens. There was so much like, oh my God, what's gonna happen, right? Like, what's gonna happen? And he just walks up, takes it, looks at it, and just chucks it to the side, chucks it off the cliff. And I remember in the theater, everyone, including myself, went, what?
Yeah.
Audibly.
Yeah, this whole franchise has a thing about changing character personalities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And yeah, that's another thing that really got me was Luke's pessimistic attitude. And I'm like, that's not, and I've heard people argue, oh, well, like, you know, it was because, you know, of how he felt guilty about Kylo Ren, and he felt guilty, like, he probably feels responsible. I'm like,
yes,
that's, regardless, that's, well, Luke shouldn't have even done, that wasn't even in Luke's character to do that in the first place. And B, a Jedi is optimistic. A Jedi doesn't, like, I mean, okay, you had Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he was hiding.
You had Qui-Gon Jinn.
You had
the whole Clone Wars series where several of them weren't optimistic. You have Mace Windu. Listen, to interject really quick, this isn't me defending Luke's character in this, but this was an interesting twist on his character for me that I'm not going to defend. I still don't like it as much, but I see where they're coming from, because let's be honest here, do you think you could do any better in Luke's shoes when you're rebuilding a whole order, no pressure, after killing off an empire, and then you find out, a relative of mine is leaning towards Anakin's tendencies, and, like, is gonna go against the Jedi Order? What do? Like, yes, Luke shouldn't have gone to kill Ben. And even, he stopped himself, from doing it.
Yeah, but, like...
But the issue
that's not what a Jedi even considers.
That's not in...
it is what a Jedi has considered many times. Many times. Mace Windu, his fall is because he tried to kill Palpatine because he was too dangerous to be alive, according to the quote.
Yeah, he's too dangerous. Yeah, this was Palpatine we were talking about, not a child.
This was Kylo Ren, though. And
as a 12-year-old!
But he had so much potential, like Anakin at 12. That's the issue here. That's the issue, is that they were alike in that regard, and Anakin at 12 was fucking shit up. And Anakin at 16 basically caused an entire genocide. Not to defend Luke's action, and it goes against his character, yes, but it's a different angle that is appreciated, at least. I wish they executed it better, though, because I don't hate the angle. Because you know what? In the Legends lore, this also has happened several times. This has happened many times with Luke. And people were so happy with it, or praised it. Why? Because it characterized him more beyond just being a hero's journey trope, and it was done well. If this was done well, we would be singing a different tune. Hence, and again, this is my thing with Disney, they took away everything we loved about the Legends canon, and tried to make it their bastardized son.
Yeah, they did.
Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, is a bastardized Jason Solo.
He really is.
And they missed 15 million steps of what made Jason, Jaina, and also Anakin Solo, what made them who they are, and their character arcs, and was like, no, we're going to do the best part about it that everyone liked, without knowing what made him that way, including Luke. Because Luke, after the Empire, was guilty of a lot of things, and breaking the Jedi Order. Many times, he almost fell to darkness and despair. And he rose up. But it's because it was done well that we're okay with that version of Luke.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is that, like, he faces that. This
pacing, though, doesn't do it justice. At all. It's not a character assassination because of the way of the idea. It's a character assassination because of the pacing and how we got here. Especially because we don't get any insight in the last movie of why Luke is gone. That's my again, I'm not defending this movie because I still do not like this movie for all the reasons I agree with you guys. But I can respect it a little more than Rise of Skywalker and Attack of the Clones because it dared to do something that we were dying for. Something different, something creative, and quite frankly, if it was just written better, we would be singing a different tune to all of this. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stand by that.
To be honest, I don't know. I'm going to be totally honest. I really think they butchered this. And, like, yeah, I don't even really I mean, there are ways they could have written around it and made it better.
Yeah.
Like, I think what could have happened was maybe it was a test.
Oh, listen.
How Yoda kind of messed with Luke's temper and kind of test with his patience a little bit. I thought that's the route they were going to go.
The other issue with it is the training, if you will, for Ben was basically just, oh my God, we didn't see it. We didn't even see the training. We don't know how far Luke pushed him. And again, I don't disagree that it was handled badly in this film. I'm just going to sit here and say it. How we got to this point was interesting. It had me intrigued for the first half, not going to lie. But then it all spiraled because of the pacing and how we got to this point. And it's because, unfortunately, Disney, fuck that company, does not know how to give great creative control. Because how are you going to tell me you give total creative control to J.J. Abrams, who did A New Hope Part 2, and set things up, give it to someone else entirely and say, no, we're going to go this way, and then bring back someone to do damage control. Like, that's not how you do it. No. You stick with something, you stick with your team, and you go and do it. You don't double back 5,000 times.
I really just honestly think they shouldn't have gone that route in the first place. I really just don't. It's it's not Luke's character, and B, like, that's not what we wanted to see as an audience. We didn't want to see Luke give up. We didn't want... Like, this is a beloved character that we've seen do heroic shit all throughout the original trilogy, and now we're just watching him be a fat, washed-up loser who just doesn't care anymore.
Well,
None of us wanted to see that. I don't care if it's different. I don't care if it's trying a new thing. That's not what we as fans wanted to see. Mm-hmm. And I don't... And I give you credit. It was different, and if they handled it better, it might have worked. I really think they fumbled the ball and just like they really shouldn't have gone there.
But again,
whether it was different or not.
But again, we were fine with this in Legends because it was handled differently.
When did this happen in Legends?
This has happened several times.
When?
The
Okay,
Jedi Academy
when?
arc, when? Jaina and Jason's training, the Hope of Despair, the fucking Yuzon War. When there was a total you wait a minute. You wait a minute there. You wait a minute, madame. There was a Yuzon War where there was an undefeatable alien race that was going around destroying planets. Chewbacca literally died on a planet they nuked.
He did, which was
We're
really
getting
sick.
into territory we haven't discussed on this podcast yet.
Oh, yeah,
This
that's
is
right.
Let's keep it in. Let's keep it to the trilogy movies.
But this is my point, though, about the trilogy. This is my point about this movie specifically. It's not different. It's not completely out of the character, because we saw this in Legends, but it was handled better. Completely better, in my opinion. This has happened several times to Luke. Every character of this original cast has been through that despair so many times. I've read a shit ton of the books. Jaina and Jason's arcs especially, where like Palpatine was thought to be back, which wasn't original at all when we get to that movie, like, that is another point. The despair of Emperor being back and them attacking Luke's Jedi Academy because for once he wasn't perfect. Like, I get this is the guy that we looked up to, but even icons of hope have their moments of despair. And, like, it could have been a great despair moment here, but it wasn't. It just wasn't executed right, and that's why we don't like it. It's not because it's too different, it's because it's not what we wanted in regards to execution. Because I'm gonna call every Star Wars fan out. We are hypocritical if we're gonna say this Luke is the Luke we never wanted, but are okay with Legends Luke. I'm just gonna put that out.
Okay,
there.
I'm disagreeing with you there. You are absolutely wrong there. You are so wrong there.
What do you mean?
You are absolutely wrong.
What do you mean?
Legends Luke is 100% different than Disney canon.
He's different because the execution, the general timeline with Despair especially. Again, this trilogy is just the Legends canon sandwiched together in a speedrunning attempt. This is all a lot of the same plot points we get from the Legends. Worse, though. Just worse.
I don't know, not really.
What do you...
I'm gonna be totally honest. The Legends, I mean, it's because there's more, but at the same time, like it's not really like, that's the whole point. Like Jedi face the dark side. They face moments like that. Hell, Obi-Wan Kenobi had that when he was on A New Hope, but like it was not remotely like that at all.
I'm gonna
totally
flip
honest right
shit.
now.
Honey, give your thoughts. Please, this is your show. Give your
Before,
thoughts.
before Benson and I strangle each other.
I feel like I'm going in circles here. I feel like I'm at a pod racing.
All right, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we move on to final thoughts on this movie.
I still got more shit to say.
I want to give her thoughts,
we're already at 50 minutes and we have another movie to talk about. Okay.
I want to hear her thoughts on everything else, though, because in my opinion, they also assassinate the new characters, too.
I want to talk about Raylo.
Oh!
Okay, I fully blame book talk and fan fiction writers for this ship because there is no reason for it to exist.
Yeah.
I am all for an enemies to lovers. I am all for a bad boy main character who hates everybody and has a soft spot for her. Okay, one of my favorite tropes of all time. This doesn't fucking work. He does not love her. He wants to manipulate her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She does not love him. She wants to fix him. This is not this is not a good relationship.
She saw him shirtless several times, and then that was it. That was the dumbest part, by the way.
It was so dumb.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
so
bad.
stupid. Like, that's the one Force power I will never understand. The Force connection, like, basically Skype call. The Force Skype.
It is like a Skype call.
It's literally a Force Skype call. Just what the hell? Like, and it makes even less sense in the next movie. But I'm fine with Force healing, which we see in this movie, and that was great, actually, as someone that grew up with Force healing.
Yeah.
in
I don't
Jedi
understand why
Academy.
people were mad about that. Like, that's been in Star Wars for the longest time.
That's my point for this whole trilogy, and basically, like, it's great stuff. It's great stuff that you see. Force Skype call, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember that. I don't remember that once where Luke just went, Leia, pick up some milk at the store really quick, please. And Leia's like, I got it, here. And they pick it up through the Force. And it's galaxies away. Okay, I'm mad about that. I am mad about that. That was the dumbest shit, because it set up some SNL-like stuff, which is funny considering we've gotten several Kylo Ren SNL skits that are better than this movie.
They really are.
And I'm back to being mad, because again, I will defend this movie for some points, but at the end of the day, the execution sucks dick. And that's it. I like The Last Planet, and the fact that it was red, and it was visually pleasing. The aesthetics with red of this movie were fantastic.
If we had more time, I'd rant.
I mean, you can. I
want to hear more.
We have to cut out the whole part with Sarah anyway.
What about you, though? What about your other thoughts of this movie? What about the new characters, especially?
Okay, from on one hand, I get the whole thing with Luke. Like, that's his nephew. That's something that a lot of people seem to forget. That's his nephew.
It is his nephew.
Imagine taking a lightsaber to your nephew. Like,
Yep.
that's gonna create some emotional turmoil.
I mean, Luke did the same where he took a lightsaber almost to his father.
Yeah.
And almost succeeded too again,
And that's gotta bring back some traumatic memories.
Oh, yeah.
But it does really change his whole personality.
It does.
Like, he completely gives up everything that he felt about the Force. Like, that doesn't... And I feel like this whole franchise has a thing of taking those masters.
Yeah.
Like, Yoda had a personality change.
Ah, yes! This was my favorite moment, is when we were watching the movie. Sorry, you want to explain this moment? Because you had stronger
I
feelings.
just meant in general. Like, he went from being, like, in the prequels, and then he was a crazy...
Batshit crazy man!
Batshit crazy guy. And then, like, this whole franchise has a thing with taking, like, old wise masters and then just changing their personalities.
Now, in Yoda's defense, I'd be insane, too, if I was stuck on Dagobah for so many years.
But then, like, we see
Nothing but the
Luke
rats.
drinking milk.
Alien titty milk.
Alien fucking titty milk. And
Mickey,
I feel
that's a great scene, and he knows it. That's my boy right there.
I hated that scene, but it also feels like it was just trying to do a nod to all the other masters that clearly went batshit crazy.
Yeah, but, like, again, this is my thing with Luke. Again, his despair is not original. No. But, again, the thing that I feel like is being missed here when I say this is that the execution sucks. Like, there should have been build-up to him questioning his stuff with Ben. We should have gotten more. It sucks that, again, this is Disney's fault for giving this to 2 separate directors and 2 writing teams and said, knock yourself out. This is the whole issue here. Last Jedi could be better if Force Awakens built with it, and Force Awakens would be even better if Last Jedi built those ideas. It's such a clash.
Yes.
It's such a clash.
But then, what was the question?
The new characters. Everything that was built up.
Finn had so much fucking potential.
That's funny. I thought he was going to be the main character.
I thought he was too. We all thought it.
No, it's because it had to be a woman.
Oh.
Listen. There's nothing wrong with Rey. I do like Rey as a character.
She's the weakest.
But there was no reason they both couldn't have wielded lightsabers.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Finn had so much fucking potential.
Oh, his romance sucked too.
And they gave him a stupid ass romance. Like,
Rose.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. I
don't think he even reciprocated the feelings.
No,
I don't think he did.
It felt like, and I feel like it's because the actor looks so young. It almost felt like a young girl just having a crush on someone who's older than her, and like he doesn't reciprocate the feelings. Like he hasn't led her on at all.
Yeah.
But she's just like, I love you.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was and might I add, they tried to have a Han and Leia moment with this, like during Empire Strikes Back, because as she kisses him, the barrier to the fortress they're supposed to be protecting gets nuked.
Yeah.
Like, how romantic is that? We're gonna die. Mwah. At least with Han and Leia, it was like, okay, maybe we'll see each other again. And then he does the whole I know and then frozen carbonite. We know it goes. We'll watch the last episode. But it's just the set pieces they wanted just weren't executed well. And that's my main issue with this entire trilogy. But we'll get to that at the end.
And then Rey, again, I don't hate her character, but I think they ruined her by giving her a romance.
Yeah. Or the wrong romance.
The wrong
romance.
I think,
Finn and Rey were set up, I feel like, to be a romance.
I wanted them to be together so bad.
And it sucks. I'm sorry. Poe was the only redeeming character in this of the new cast.
He's a beautiful man.
And because he acted like Leia 2.0. Because he was trying to do what was right for the Resistance, even if it wasn't the entirely right thing at the time. He was trying to do right by the Resistance, which Leia and Luke and Han would have done. throughout this entire trilogy, Poe is the best in my opinion. The best kept character-wise.
All right, let's let Connor rant for a minute. Get
Yeah.
get your thoughts out, and then
Wait, can I make you angry really quick?
You've already done that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again by reading out my favorite batshit moments of this movie. I have a list here. Ahem. Leia flying through space with the Force and Jesus Christ posing.
God.
Great time. Looked like the touch of man and God. Gambling. The casino scene.
Oh my. Okay.
Alien titty milk, to bring that up again, because I
fucking
can't
hate that scene.
I can't
Oh, yeah.
I can't boogeyman it enough. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, Kylo Ren being shirtless the whole time. I'm gonna
Felt
quote.
like a Jacob Black moment. Like, so unnecessary.
What else is there? Luke going, basically fucking with Rey, going, you feel that? That's the Force. That's what you're feeling, and it's slapping her hand. Alien titty milk. Say it one more time, and it's gonna pop up behind you. And then my favorite one of them all, Yoda proceeding, and I wrote this down entirely. Yoda showing up. Great to see Frank Oz, by the way. Fozzie Bear's actor. Great to see Frank Oz come back for this with the puppet too. They haven't lost it at all. Frank Oz's Yoda coming back to be batshit insane, and when Luke's gonna go destroy the old ways of the Jedi and burn the library down, and is hesitant, Yoda just goes, you know what, I'm gonna do it for you, and becomes God and summons lightning to destroy the library, and then tells Luke, after 6 movies of doing this, you gotta let go of the past, buddy, after being the biggest stickler, and then the scene ends of them sitting in front of the burning library like they're campfire friends at camp, and it's a great time.
Which doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yoda would fucking never.
No. Yeah.
Never.
Anyways, now I got your blood boiling. Go ahead, buddy, let loose.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Bring up the freaking gambling planet. That sounds like a Star Trek plot.
Does.
It sounds like a Star Trek plot, and I'd be okay with it if the planet looked like lively, like
Yeah.
Vegas or something.
It didn't even look
It
like...
was the most bland, gray. I mean, I'm gonna say bland a lot when describing this movie because it is. It was the most boring looking planet I've ever seen.
Vegas,
And
more like Nogus.
It was. Oh yeah, fucking good one. But I was sitting there like, really, like this a gambling plan? Okay, I don't know what this has to do with fucking anything, but like, all right. And then there was that one guy who like was like, I'll help you. He's like, aha, I tricked you. It's like,
Oh, the stuttering
yeah,
guy?
yeah, that guy.
Oh.
It's like, okay,
I hated him.
What was the point of this shit?
I mean,
And-
he is a cutthroat bounty hunter.
And
I
then
don't
there
know what
was
anyone's
like the friggin' chase scene with Finn on the weird rhino shit. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah!
I'm like, okay, this is the most boring chase scene I've ever watched in my life.
Now, I'd like to be completely honest and unveil the curtain. I didn't have anything written down. I just remember these moments so well. I just wanted to get Connor's blood boiling for that.
And like, Jesus Christ. And yeah, the Yoda scene. And I'm like, well, both of them, it's like, it makes no sense for fucking either of them. Maybe, okay, I will say, Luke, maybe, because Luke I always saw as like, okay, now because I'm like, because he's like, okay, now he's like the Grandmaster Jedi. He's like the
Yeah,
most
no pressure,
trained.
buddy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he now has the authority to really like, okay, we can make these changes.
Right.
Right? Like I've always thought like, okay, if anyone would do it, yeah, it's him.
Yep.
But like in a way of like, okay, in a way for like it be healthy for the Jedi Order to grow. Right?
This was him.
Here
giving
it
up
was just like,
entirely.
no, I give up. Fuck
And-
you.
But again, he hesitated though.
he
Much
did
like
hesitate.
with
He
Ben,
did hesitate. Yes.
because he's on the fence again. Like again, not done well, but the idea's still there. And then there's Yoda, who again, I'm not a Yoda defender by any step of the means, but I find it so funny how death changes a man and makes him so like laid back and not a stickler. His walking stick went out of his ass, and he went, "Nah, I'm chill now." And it's so funny. The way he's just laughing is so fucking funny to me. That's like that's like an ironically funny scene in a movie that tries so hard to be funny.
And you know what really drove me nuts?
What drove you nuts?
Really
Let it out. Use your
fucking
anger.
drove me nuts.
Use
wanna
your
know-
anger.
You want to make me drive me up a fucking wall?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Do it.
Rey and Luke fight with sticks. I'm still mad. I'm still mad. Like, like you fucking cock teasers. I was pissed.
Again,
I'm like, wow, you could not have done that any stupider.
And then the soundtrack also wasn't memorable either. Again, I'm gonna say that throughout this trilogy, this is the least memorable soundtrack. Though.
It is
I'm
the least
sorry.
memorable soundtrack.
The best, and even the action, like you said, was bland, except
yeah.
for the throne room scene.
Okay, that was cool. That was cool.
Again,
that was a cool
the
scene.
emphasis
I liked
on
that.
red was so good.
It was very aesthetically pleasing. That.
I thought they looked like villains from the live-action Alice in Wonderland movie.
Oh, the cards, Jesus.
And you know what else? Right, it's like, and then with Snoke in this friggin' movie, like, oh my god,
He looks like a rip-off Voldemort.
oh
Which
my
is
God,
the point
he's all-
because of the later revelation in Rise of Skywalker.
and it's like
Oh yeah, let's talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, but like
the new most menacing villain in the whole galaxy, and you're gonna dress up like Austin Powers and Goldmember.
No, he did.
Friggin',
It's beautiful.
he looked terrible.
Can I be honest with you? Again, I'm not upset they killed Snoke off. I just wish, and because you know what, Kylo Ren, they did set up to be Darth Vader entirely, or better than Darth Vader, because then he leads this whole order, which Darth Vader didn't always get to do. But I just wish, again, I'm gonna say this a lot with this movie, it was done better. Because Snoke has what across both movies, 10 minutes of screen time. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Like
sounds
they
about right.
set him up with some menacing Palpatine shit
Yeah,
in
they should've-
Force Awakens.
Well, yeah, they should have met in the throne room in the last movie.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. I liked how they introduced him in Force Awakens.
Yes, me too. It was cool, and it was revealed that like because he looked like really big. I'm like, is he just a really big alien? And like, it was
Yeah.
revealed to be a hologram. Like that made more mystery because it's like, what's his
Menacing.
actual size?
He's physically being
We didn't-
menacing.
and we didn't really see him. He was like covered in darkness.
Yep.
So it's like there's so much being and like I thought, okay, maybe we were gonna see like what he fully looks like in the next movie, and then we finally get to see him in person in the third movie.
And like the thing with me about it is that again, like I would be fine if they used him more in Last Jedi too. Like
Yeah, no.
way more. Way more. Like
I was fine that they used him, but like
the build-up was not worth it. Like
no, it wasn't worth for them to just kill him up. And you
That
know they
revelation
did it
sucked.
so goofy.
Yes.
It was so goofy. His death, it looked like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Oh, it was.
He makes like a face. I'm not even. He makes like he does that.
But if he lived, we wouldn't have gotten the revelation that we get in Rise of the Skywalker.
Wait, are we done with Last Jedi? Any last thoughts?
I was just about to ask that because I have.
What about you?
No, I'm good. I need to
So,
move on because
you
I'm really mad
Well,
right now.
this is my favorite part because you looked at me after the credits rolled on Last Jedi. Okay, wait. To give credit really quick. I love the ending of Last Jedi.
Oh, fucking Broom Boy.
Yeah, I love that ending. Listen, I don't care what anyone says.
I don't hate Broom Boy. I was just like, it goes nowhere. So it's like,
Well, it's a symbolic thing more than an actual thing. Like the Resistance is on their last legs. They don't feel like they're inspiring anybody, especially because nobody came to help them. But they inspired the wrong people. They inspired the next generation to eventually rise up as well if anything happens. And I like that. I thought it was cute. It doesn't go anywhere on purpose because I feel like it's a great nod, much like to Rey, Finn, and Poe, where the next generation's going to pass the torch and lead the rebellion against an empire no matter what it takes.
Yeah, I think it's saying like Rey won't be the Last Jedi,
And
it's called the Last Jedi,
And the Resistance will never be fully gone because they have inspired people. And my favorite part about it was you rolled the credits and you looked at me and you went, that wasn't as bad as Connor said.
I did not hate this movie. I think there are movies that I've hated more. Right now, two come to mind, and that's Morbius and Mirror Mask.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
fair.
did not hate this much as I hated Mirror Mask.
It's not a good movie by any means, but
No.
this is a weird thing for me to say.
I will actually watch both those movies like multiple times rather than see this again. I'm not even
I respectfully
I mean,
disagree.
you can disagree. I'm just saying I will throw that movie against a wall.
I will say this.
That's
okay.
fair.
In regards to Last Jedi, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but you see a lot of TikToks when you see a lot of algorithm things. and I can't believe I'm saying this, Star Wars The Last Jedi is somehow not only the most overhated Star Wars movie, but the most overrated, because there's been a renaissance like it, because every fandom goes through this. Stop doing it. Anyways.
Yeah, they really do.
Thank you. Pokemon does it every
Pokemon
fucking year.
Yeah,
we are currently on X and Y.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, fandoms do tend to do that.
Like, you and I have been here for the beginning for some of these, and we got made fun of so much.
We did.
Fuck you guys.
We really did.
You guys suck. I've been here. Anyways, Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, let's move on to Rise of Skywalker, because there's a reason
My least favorite.
That Snoke dies. And it's to make room for a new villain who's not fucking new.
They did it.
They brought back Palpatine.
Now,
I hated it.
the idea of Palpatine coming back has been played around with.
In the Legends.
Yes.
Jason and Jaina once again. But that didn't go anywhere, though.
Right, it didn't go anywhere.
Because it was a fake out. It was
a
like
fake out.
hologram the whole fucking time they reveal in the last book.
They also did it in the Dark Empire comic books.
Yep.
But the difference there was that it's not, like, it doesn't make Darth Vader's sacrifice mean nothing like it does here.
Oh, this does.
It absolutely does, because now it's like, okay, they don't even say like, oh, it's a Force thing.
Well, they try to explain it in the expanded books. And
Yeah.
here's my thing to say it. Well, no, hold on. Doesn't make it any better.
They should have done it in the movie.
They should have done it in the movie.
They should have done it in the movie.
And
Because here's my thing
They
about...
implied it.
Here's my thing about what you're about to say. If a movie, book, TV show, whatever, cannot stand on its own,
No, I agree.
does not have the explanation within that media source, it doesn't need to be there.
No, I agree, but here's why. Because they imply it in the opening scenes with the tubes of all the other failed Snokes that we see. And I'm going to explain it for the audience that doesn't know. Palpatine, if you remember, in the prequel and in the original, was the apprentice of Darth Plagueis the Wise, who taught him many things about the Force, and that point was used to manipulate Anakin, such as the one to save the one you love. Little did we realize that apparently also tied to the Clone Wars, because he uses cloning and the Force to put his soul in a new body. He took his soul and pushed it somewhere else. And this happened. And it was stupid. This is my least favorite movie of the Star Wars bunch. Say what you will about The Last Jedi, but he had the balls to do something unique. This is Return of the Jedi Part 2.
It
do something
cheap.
unique, like actually make me want to blow my brains out instead of figuratively want me to blow my brains out.
But
I don't want to blow my brains out. I was kidding.
Listen. I'm not saying Jedi, despite what I'm saying, I'm not saying it's a good movie. It's bad. It is bad. There are glimmers there that I can see, but it's bogged down by disconnected teamwork. J.J. Abrams came in, undoes all of Last Jedi, like the sandcastle
And you know what?
symbolism,
Yeah.
but also does Return of the Jedi again.
It does. Well, you know what? I was going to say, like, I feel like if Last Jedi just ripped off Empire Strikes Back, right? Which, I mean,
It does in some ways.
It does in some ways.
It does.
But if they went the Force Awakens route.
Force
They
got a rake!
They
Imagine that lightsaber.
a
Four-pronged
lightsaber rake.
A light raker.
It's like
a light
or like
raker.
a farmer, like, oh my god.
That's the future Luke had when he didn't join the rebellion. Uncle Owen, what am I supposed to do with this? You're supposed to rake the sand from the sand. I fucking hate this farm dog.
Okay, that's funny.
It's better than what Ryan did with Last Jedi's humor. I'm just saying that.
If they did like how Force Awakens was very similar to A New Hope,
Right.
it would have at least ripped off a good movie.
Well, here's my...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but here's my other thing. This also speedruns Empire Strikes Back in the first half.
It does.
Because we get the family revelation, which we'll get to in a second. Yep, here we go. This done does everything. I'm sorry, if this is your podcast and we're doing more of the talking, I'm sorry.
I knew this was gonna happen.
I'm sorry,
I knew
honey.
it was gonna happen.
But this is my thing as a longtime Star Wars fan. Again, this trilogy does a lot of ideas that are not original to the Star Wars canon now with Legends, which we'll do in a later episode. But it bastardizes them and tries to copy itself and tries to, like, make it its own. But there's nothing building up to it. And then when, like, Last Jedi doesn't do well, like rightfully so in my opinion, despite everything I've said. Despite all that, you bring back J.J. Abrams. There was turmoil after Last Jedi where I think the writing team was let go, and then they brought back Abrams and the original writing team. They undo everything Last Jedi does without any grandiose to it while doing Return of the Jedi. We go to a moon system Endor again. We go to fucking Endor.
No, legit. It's legit. They don't even say it's Endor.
Like, it's the moon orbiting Endor,
it's the
right?
Moon of Endor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, no, yeah, but but in Return of the Jedi, it is the Forest Moon of Endor. Like the Forest planet is not called Endor.
Well, that's interesting because they do another moon because we see the Ewoks in the closing.
Yeah, I think that was that moon, right?
This was another moon.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
probably
it was
like another moon of Endor.
They just didn't want to go to the forest. They went to the ocean.
They went to the friggin' ocean.
They went to the ocean instead.
Which is,
Instead of Ewoks, we got horses.
We're gonna get a fire planet.
No, they already ruined Mustafar.
Yeah.
They already ruined Mustafar.
You know what? I will say the opening to Rise of Skywalker with like an ash and soot Mustafar was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, because like again, when you look at like the lore that Star Wars is trying to build with like expanding the world, Mustafar was able to be rehabilitated. Because after Fortress Vader and like all this stuff on Mustafar after the Empire was done, like the planet started to heal finally, and that was cool. It was so cool. It's a neat idea. But like they don't name drop Fortress Vader at all, I'm pretty sure. No. They don't name drop Mustafar at all, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, oh, here's another fire planet. You have to do the digging and go, wait, what? And that's the same point I agree with, though, even though I was trying to explain it for the audience. That's the same point I agree with you, where, like, there's so much to Rise of Skywalker lore-wise and importance-wise that they just don't explain, and they just let it happen. And that entire opening sequence, even though the battle was fucking epic, I did like that sequence very much. Like, there's no build up to it. There's nothing hype about it. You just see tree, ash, and then you go to Exegol with the Sith planet, which, great stuff. But your thoughts, honey. More your thoughts.
I mean, there were two main things that I really hated about this movie. I did not like that Palpatine was back. It just felt... It just felt cheap. So fucking cheap.
So stupid.
So cheap. Like, they couldn't have just let Kylo Ren be the villain of the movie.
They should have.
No.
Whether or not, like, he had a redemption at the end, because he does have a redemption at the end. Like, he could have just been the main villain of the movie, and if you wanted him to have a redemption, that would have worked.
We know he has turmoil, and then they speed ran that turmoil for the sake of Palpatine. Like, I liked Han and Ben's scene, don't get me wrong. It was great, but we could have had so much more for that. And that's what pisses me off the most. And then, again, killing Leia off the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, I think it made sense. I think even if Carrie Fisher had not passed away, which, rest in peace, even if she hadn't passed away, the formula of the last two movies just worked out. She would have passed away in this movie anyway.
And I still don't like the formula at all.
But... Yeah, I think it was not so great treatment from her. And, like, they were limited to what they were able to do because she passed away halfway through filming the movie.
That's true. But, like, that's the shitty part about it is that you bring up a good point. Even if Carrie Fisher didn't pass away, I still feel like this would have happened. I feel like it was written in the stars the way they were doing it. Yeah. Because, again, it's another old beloved mentor dying of old age and exertion, just like Yoda did in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Like,
this is Return of the Jedi Part 2, and then they try, like, J.J. Abrams tried to bring some original ideas in, sprinkle it in here and there, like more exiled stormtroopers joining forces, and they don't do anything with it. Like, we don't do anything. We even get, like, a nod to Return of the Jedi with the gang on a desert planet, and Lando's a part of the plan, and he's dressed up in disguise. To a T.
And then Palpatine's only back because of the reveal that we get.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is, he is Rey's grandfather.
The worst.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know we all have our thoughts on Last Jedi, but this...
It was really bad.
This had no build-up.
It was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah.
Like, they built around and danced around the idea that Rey's parents were nobody. This is what I liked about Last Jedi in this regard. They at least made the twist that at the end of the day, Rey's parents were nobodies, and she just was born from the Force, and that maybe she didn't always have it easy. They were nobodies. They were like just basically like they sold her off.
Really, I hated that.
Listen,
I thought that was dumb.
It's not. It's better than circling back, going, no, they were somebodies. They were the kid. One of them was the kid of Palpatine.
I mean, I guess, but I feel like, okay, give them something, right?
Well, I feel like it's important because it also adds to the ending, in my opinion, of Last Jedi, where not everybody needs to be Leia or Luke to be able to come from something.
No, that's true.
And that's what they did. They literally just copy and pasted Luke. They needed her to be related to somebody. They needed that
powerful.
Some
surprise.
sort of connection to the past.
But
and
it's so fucking stupid. He did not need to come back.
He didn't. And if he was going to come back, you didn't need to make him related to Rey. You could have just had another Chosen One thing.
Yeah.
Because she did feel like Chosen 1.2. Or 2.0, I should say. Like, you don't need that. If you're going to bring someone like Palpatine, this murdered his entire legacy, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I can't look at the 6 movies in earnest. I still love Palpatine, but I still cannot look at him in earnest with all of his plans and think this man was fucking genius level at times. Because, like, if you were going to bring him back, it should have been better. And again, disjointed trilogy as a whole. I digress. It just was so dumb. The Palpatine shit was so dumb. What was the other thing that ruined it for you?
Again, Reylo.
Yeah.
I can't get behind that ship, and I know a lot of people love that ship. There's a lot of dark romance girlies on TikTok, and I get that.
Sickos.
But
freaks.
see, I don't really like dark romance. I like an enemies to lovers, maybe a forbidden romance type of situation, but not. I don't love dark romance, and this is what that's bordering, because nowhere did they ever talk and fall in love. Like, they were, like, he was infatuated with her from the first movie, and there was no reason for it other than he thinks that she is as powerful as he is, and that starts an infatuation, because it's an infatuation, it is not love.
Rey saw that man shirtless with sweat and started dripping.
And it just ruins her character.
She didn't need him. She didn't need... You know what
He
really
doesn't,
makes...
no, neither of them, they don't need each other.
You know what really made this worse? Was the fact that they circled back to the original ship we all thought would happen with Finn and Rey. And they kept being like, hey, Finn, what were we going to tell Rey if this was your last moment?
Yeah,
and they never...
They never
revealed
get
it.
back to it.
Oh, that's wild. That was a big fuck. J.J. Abrams said fuck you to his own work, too. This felt like him going fuck you to everything, including The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it, especially after Last Jedi. You want to bring back someone that is technically successful with your franchise, even if they played it extremely safe. But not only did they play it extremely safe with a general plot point perspective, but they also said fuck you to the last movie and undid everything without rhyme or reason other than to be spiteful. And then said, you know what, fuck you, Force Awakens, and did it to that too.
I mean, to be fair, if you're going to bring back somebody from an old movie, he's the only one who wasn't, like, burned on a pier. Like, they couldn't bring back Vader.
No.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Technically, oh, sorry, continue. Sorry.
I don't know who else they would have brought back, but there's not been very many options.
They could have just made it a new guy.
How about just keep Kylo Ren?
But to introduce a whole
new villain in, like, the very
movie,
last movie.
They should have just made it Kylo Ren.
Yeah, just keep Kylo Ren.
Have it be by himself,
Yeah, because there's no point in introducing a whole new villain unless you plan on continuing that trilogy.
Or you take Snoke from The Last Jedi, you take that throne room scene, you don't kill him off, but you definitely wound him and make Kylo Ren and Rey's thing a whole thing, and then you save the assassination for the first act of Rise of Skywalker and give Kylo Ren the reins. Yeah. After Snoke reveals his fleet and Kylo Ren takes it all for himself.
That would have been better.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Or, God forbid we want to dive into nostalgia, since we're so hard on about old Sith, how about you use the wonderful Sith of the past as ghosts taking control, since we like using the voices of the past. Darth Nihilus is right there.
Sith don't really have ghosts.
They don't, but... No, they do! They technically
Well, they kind of do, but not in
the
the same
Clone Wars!
sense.
Look, not in the same sense, but the Clone Wars!
Right, like there was the Darth Bane shit.
Yes!
Yeah.
Do that with someone else!
Yeah, you could have done that.
Like, Darth Nihilus is literally a psychopath.
Yeah.
He is literally a world-eating psychopath that manipulates people. The Ghost was right there. And I know Old Republic is technically Legends, but you're undoing a lot of Legends lore right now as we speak.
I feel like Old Republic is so far back that it doesn't really matter.
But it still does, because the Old Republic is huge. I mean, look at
No, I know. I mean, like, it doesn't matter in terms of, like, continuity. I mean, like, you could say it's canon or not.
No, I see what you mean, yeah. And you could have done it because you're undoing your own Legends canon threads. And I'm going to stand up and scream this, because you want to know the biggest example of this? Thrawn!
Oh, yeah, no. Oh,
you undid Thrawn just to bring him back!
I know. That's the thing with Disney, is, like, they're like, okay, no, this isn't canon. Okay, but that's canon. They do that all the time. They do it all the time. It's like, you had it. Why didn't you just leave it? Like,
you bastardize all the plot
I keep
points.
touching you on the knee. I don't mean to.
Connor, I have touched your elbows far more often.
And
than
that
you
is
have
the
touched
Lord
my
drop.
knee.
That is true. She will just cup my elbow
All the
like
time.
every time.
The fucking you undo Jason, Jaina, and Anakin.
Yeah.
You undo. We could have had a Wookiee Jedi because Chewbacca's nephew was a Jedi.
Chewbacca, yeah.
Okay,
You are getting into lore we have not discussed.
and I'm mad about it. You undid all of that just to make the bastardized version for this trilogy. You undo one of the greatest trilogies in Star Wars media with Thrawn, just to bring him back and possibly set up that trilogy in a bastardized version.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, even now, if they like adapted it into like a trilogy of movies or like a television series, it would just be like a bastardized version.
And my heart hurts because I grew up on these books.
They're great
And I
books.
grew up in this expanded lore, and to see it bastardized, every plot point across all three bastardized, pisses me off.
I've always just looked at it as like two alternate universes.
And that's a good way to look at it, but for this, oh boy. Listen, and okay, wait. What's the romance? I'm sorry, get back to the I'm heated.
I mean, I already talked about what I don't like about the romance.
I figured
Like,
there'd be more.
No, they just don't fit together. And then there's that ending scene.
No.
There's the ending scene
No.
of them literally as they went to kiss. I looked at Benson and I said, "Don't you fucking kiss him. I swear to fucking God, if she..." And then she fucking kisses him.
kiss.
And he dies!
He dies anyway, leaving room for Rey and Finn. And what fucking happens with that? Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Hey, tell them about the worst ending scene of all time, where Rey adopts Skywalker's name.
Yeah, it just says,
And then, Rey adopts Skywalker's name, which literally the whole time Ben's going, "No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not." She was adopted. It's fine. I mean, like, listen.
It wasn't earned. I'm sorry.
I don't think it was earned.
It wasn't earned.
We didn't really see her connection with Leia, though, because I don't think she was trying to connect herself with Luke, but I think she was with Leia. Because we get the sense that they had that connection. Like, she trained her.
You know, it's funny. I was actually, I was watching the movies. I was watching all 9 movies with Lizzie at one point. And they said, "Well, Connor, you really don't like how they handled the sequel trilogy. Why don't you try your hand at rewriting it?" I was like,
fucking bet.
that's not a bad idea.
You know what? Here's how I'd rewrite it. Get ready for this. Bring back the original ideas. Okay?
Yeah.
Fucking bring back Jaina, Jason, Ben. Great plot point.
I think what will be a fun project is that, like, we each write our own version of those movies, and like,
fuck writing our own versions. I think we could make it together.
oh yeah, you know what? That'd be
Genuinely, I think we are on the same page for pretty much everything about it. Like, it's just
Would we write it in like book form or script form?
I would do both. I will
Book form
gladly
and
do
script
both.
form? Okay.
Like, listen, it's not that hard, okay? You take that entire series. You could take the series beforehand, the young readers' books, where Han and Leia get married at the end, and they have the whole vision where Leia sees herself with kids, and then you could do the Young Jedi Academy. Done, great. And then you could do like the sequel series to those, especially where they bring back Boba Fett. Done, great.
Yeah.
And then the Yuzhang Vong, sorry to say their name wrong originally, the killer aliens from before that were destroying planets and were unstoppable and were the whole reason the Empire was building super weapons in the first place, because the Empire, one of the few things they feared was the Yuzhang Vong. They come in and everyone's almost on the brink of death. except for Chewbacca, who dies. And then you end it with Jason turning to the dark side like it was originally written. He kills off Mara Jade, and Jaina and Jason have their duel. Done. There it is.
You are getting into media we have not discussed.
You will. This is important. It's not that hard. And again, all these plot points are bastardized in this trilogy. Like, all for a cheap original to Boogaloo. In Return of the Jedi and New Hope.
Alright, is there anything else we need to talk about this movie?
Lando was fine, whatever.
Yes,
It was cool that
Lando.
he came back, but they barely did anything with him.
Yeah.
I liked the final battle action. I liked the action in this one. In the second half.
I didn't even like it in the second half. I'm like, okay, they brought like a bunch of nostalgic ships. Okay, whatever.
The second half where they rode the horses on the Star Destroyers so they weren't hijacked, that's smart. I like that. That was kind of cool. The action in the second half was good. Can I talk about this scene? Can we talk about our thoughts on this scene too?
Which scene?
I am all of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, I am all the Sith and I am all the Jedi.
This was stupid.
It was a bad.
I know.
Bad
I
line.
liked that we heard all their voices though.
That was cool.
I liked that.
It sucks though from your perspective because some of them you are not completely attached to yet.
Right, but hearing the ones that I was attached to,
Anakin
was
especially.
Really, yeah,
Anakin was nice.
And Qui-Gon is.
We heard young and old Obi-Wan.
That's
which I thought was weird.
That was weird. I agree.
Yeah.
And then Ahsoka, you're just getting to know Ahsoka a bit.
I know. I started Clone Wars today.
Oh, you started this TV series? What the fuck? And then,
you can't watch it all with me. It's 7 seasons.
And then Luminar Unduli was a surprise. You'll get attached to her. Ayla Secura, she was the Twi'lek alien that got shot during Order 66 on that, like, jungly planet. You'll get attached to her.
Yeah.
And then... Oh, sorry.
Let's move on with it, because it's getting to be that time, and I'm fucking hungry.
And then Kanan, who is one of the main characters of Rebels, but please continue your thoughts on that.
I mean, I understood the scene. Like, he can't say, like, oh, I'm all the Sith, without her saying something along the lines of,
then don't write it in.
I'm all the
shouldn't have even
Jedi.
been written.
It shouldn't have been, but, like, if he's gonna say something stupid like that, what else is she gonna respond with?
Nothing. Kill him. That's it. Do it.
But she couldn't kill him.
Yeah, she did.
Well,
She
yeah,
literally
she
did.
But, like,
She took Luke and Leia's lightsabers, went, "Be gone, Satan," and force lightning him back into oblivion. I like to see his soul come back from that. I'm so mad about that.
I know, you didn't
The
like
writing
that
in this
scene.
is awful.
Yeah,
And, like,
the writing isn't great.
It's bad.
it's trying to be Return of the Jedi while undoing everything, while being its own thing, and J.J. Abrams just didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
He didn't.
I wouldn't give a shit either.
Well, you're supposed to. And it felt like he just fuck you'd his entire movie. If you don't want to give a shit about Last Jedi, fine. Undo that like you tried to a little bit. But make the undoing worth it.
Yeah.
And at least pay respect to The Force Awakens, which started this. None of these movies respect the other in any continuity.
Yeah, no, it always feels like they're kind of battling with each other.
Oh, my favorite part, I want to shout this out as well. What was the random slug alien doing there?
Oh yeah.
They like to do that.
What was gingivitis-eyed man doing there?
Okay.
What was his point? What was his purpose? Don't know. Don't care. This is my least favorite movie because, like, yes, Last Jedi is bad. Yes, Attack of the Clones is not great either. I'd argue I go back and forth on Attack of the Clones and Last Jedi on which is worse. And Attack of the Clones barely is worse because the hopeless romantic plot takes up most of the movie, and then the 30 minutes are fantastic, and it should have been that whole movie. Rise of Skywalker is bad writing, bad acting, terrible humor. Like, how are you gonna look at a stormtrooper with a jetpack, which we've shown throughout the entire canon with stormtroopers and clone troopers, and just repeatedly go, "They fly now? They fly now!" Like, you sound stupid, Poe. Jesus Christ. It's bad acting, bad writing, bad action until the final battle, and even then, it's just, montages everywhere, and just terrible execution of the legacy characters all around. Like, you don't give Chewie the respect he deserves and try to fake kill him off. You really? That's crazy.
There were some good side characters that came out of this trilogy, though.
Oh, Babu Frick, yay, look at the little midget
I loved
dude.
him. He's so cute. And BB-8.
Yeah, BB-8 was great. You
Loved
liked Dio.
I did like Dio.
The stupid cone
Like,
droid.
there are some good side characters. But what they did with the main characters...
Terrible.
I don't want to talk
Except
about
for Poe.
Except for Poe. I liked Poe.
He, I feel like, was the only character
He
that
was
came
there
out
for
of this.
comic relief.
But he came out of this unscathed because when he had to be a badass and a leader, he was.
Yeah.
And that is his saving grace. Connor, I see you breathing.
What? You didn't like him?
No, I love him.
Oh, good. Why are you looking at me like that?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. You're just looking at me like you gotta yell at me.
Why would I yell at you?
I don't know. You do it on a daily basis.
That is
All right.
not true.
Any,
All right.
any other things you want to say about this trilogy?
No, let's wrap up our feelings by talking about how we feel about the trilogy as a whole, and then we can move on.
Please, ladies first.
Honestly, at this point, I consider the first 6 movies just to be 2 trilogies. I don't, other than Empire Strikes Back, as far as I'm concerned, Star Wars franchise, 6 movies, not 9.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 100%
Yeah.
agree.
Like,
I don't. Yeah. Be honest. I don't even know it. And it's sad. We shouldn't have to say that. We shouldn't have to say that we don't acknowledge it because it should have been great. It should have been something cool.
I respect the people that like it, and
And you know what? If you like it, you know what? Great.
listen.
That means you're not miserable like we are.
They brought in a new generation of Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
and it's great that they grew up
That's
with this.
cool. I'm not dogging on anybody.
No,
who
absolutely.
likes
I just want to
them.
make that clear before I get doxxed in the comments again.
If you like them, great. Enjoy it.
Older fan, newer fan, we
Whatever.
respect it.
I can't stand them. I
Yeah.
think they're terrible.
I mean, we've said before, if we have a bad opinion or a negative opinion on something, don't take it personally.
Don't go to the dark side.
it's
Don't
all
come back like
opinions.
Palpatine.
It's all opinions.
It's all opinions, and we're just having fun on this
We're having
podcast.
fun. Yeah, it's just fun to talk about.
This is the series I get so passionate about.
I get passionate about it too because I mean, yeah, I got into it late, but like I view it as something that like actually like is partially inspirational for stuff I make.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, listen, I grew up with Star Wars my whole life, and I love this series to death, but, like, it also sucks that this is the series I'm most passionate about, because I don't even get this passionate with Pokemon, one of my favorite franchises, or Kingdom Hearts. I've accepted them for what they are, because even if they try to change something, they still keep the passion and core mechanics there,
That's
and
true.
have enough balls to at least say, if we're going to stick with what we know, we're going to do it right. Star Wars, ever since Disney acquired it, has done maybe a handful of things right.
yeah.
One of them being The Mandalorian, and it ruined it in Season 3, and finishing off Clone Wars.
No, I don't think it ruined it. I think it was just like lackluster.
So lackluster.
I think it was so lackluster compared to the other two because it's like, well, because you know what they did? They took Boba Fett shows like, oh, it's the Mandalorian and Ahsoka
That's
and
it.
Cad
Yeah.
Bane and all these other characters. And Boba Fett's just like, hey, I'm here too.
But
This
that's
is
the
my
thing.
show.
That's what makes me mad about the Disney acquisition is, and what was spearheaded by this trilogy especially.
Yeah.
You and your greedy, dumb-ass Mickey Rat bullshit
Mickey
fucking
Rat.
ways.
I know, you don't like Mickey.
No, fuck Disney, okay, for many reasons. Fucking assholes.
Okay.
You take the legends and you make it uncanon and still have the balls to sell it like it's cool. And
yeah.
then you bastardize titty fuck the other one.
Best.
Okay? That's what you do.
It's true.
And
it's
here
true,
we
they
are
really do.
now, waiting for Thrawn in Ahsoka, and we're waiting for more with the Mandalorian. Sorry, I was diddling your elbow. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But like,
What is it with you guys in my elbow? Like,
what is
Jesus
it-
Christ.
But like, I just, we're waiting for so much, thinking that we're gonna get everything back to being better like the original, when it isn't going to be, because Disney, other than finishing Clone Wars and making Andor, has not had any consistency. And those are two shows rooted in the past. We do not have anything for the future, and it's spearheaded because of this trilogy that is more focused.
It's sad no one wants to explore that era because it's so divisive.
We went to an entirely new era in the books. We don't have a show yet on this. I think the era might be over, actually, because it flopped. The High Republic era, which is set canonically
Republic
between the Old Republic and right before Phantom Menace.
And the Clone Wars, yeah.
Which,
So,
hey,
like,
fun fact, that was also done in Legends.
yeah, it was.
Like, we had a whole young book, we had a whole young adult reader book series about Obi-Wan as a Padawan leading up to Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Okay? That was great, and you ruined it. But like, there's no focus.
I think I haven't read any of the High Republic, but I think aesthetically it looks kind of neat.
I hear it's good.
I hear,
haven't
you know
read
what?
it yet.
I haven't read it either. You know, I like it aesthetically. I haven't read any of the books. I haven't read any of the comics.
There's
nothing
comics,
like that.
yeah.
There's I haven't done any of that.
We don't have a single video game or movie or show to its name.
Well, no, Acolyte takes place in the High Republic.
Oh, that's right.
But no one liked the Acolyte.
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing with the High Republic is that, like, I mean, I'm sure there are great stories in it. I've never read it. I look at some of the covers for it, and I'm like, wow, this is probably like a really cool story.
They didn't advertise it either.
They
like
didn't.
did with
barely
this trilogy.
advertised it. And you know what's funny? They tease it in other stuff. They teased it in Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
They teased it in Rogue Squadron.
Yep.
Or was it Rogue? Yeah, it was Rogue Squadron. Whatever the newer Starfighter fucking game was.
Yeah, I know. What you're talking
but
about. It doesn't. There's no advertising for anything that isn't based in this.
Yeah,
in
no,
this,
it just
in this like era between Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi.
yeah.
Again, like they're filling in the gaps between the sequel and the original, and it's just not working like it should.
Well, speaking of books, if you are into bookish content, fun fact.
Oh no.
I'll be reading, actually, quite a few Star Wars books in January to wrap up our Star Wars month on my channel, The Neverland Reader. If you want to hang out over there, the link is always in the description box. Is there anything else we need to say before we wrap it up?
I'm sad. I'm sad.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like this series, and I'm sorry this was not a lot of you talking this episode.
I
This
knew
was
it was
just
going to
us
happen.
being mad.
I knew it was going to happen.
We had a lot more opinions.
I thought
than
I was
you.
gonna crash out more than anyone, but no, you were like the hardest.
Yeah, you crashed out
hard.
a lot.
you
Because
crashed out.
listen, and this is my thing as my wrap-up thought before I walk off camera and through a wall. Listen, Connor and I's argument about Last Jedi and that, I love Connor to death, and like, we both grew up with Star Wars. My thing about this is that I've been here, like, you know, again, Connor came in high school. I've been since, like, Lego Star Wars on GBA was my first experience.
No, you've been in it longer.
And, like, and again, maybe I'm misremembering some stuff as a longtime fan with Legends, and I'm sorry in advance. But the thing that makes me so mad about this as a lifelong fan with Connor over here is that there's so much potential to do so many stories.
Yes.
And then, again, this is Benson ranting about capitalism again. You know, Disney decides to buy it.
New?
All right, Seth Rogen.
Sorry.
We get a Seth Rogen hut next time. Hurt, voodoo.
Oh, that actually be really, that would be a really good joke.
All right, that's part of our lore now. Write that down for the script. But like, there's, Meg brings up a great point, and Connor agrees with the sentiment. They both think I'm a harsh critic, a very harsh critic.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just
No,
not
it's
bad.
not. But
not bad.
But also it's a realistic type of critic approach, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
You're
Yeah,
tough but fair.
yeah.
I am so tough on this, and this is why I am willing to excuse some things about Last Jedi compared to Rise of Skywalker, because there are glimmers of what we would see in Legends. They just weren't executed like in Legends, and that's what drives me mad about it. And why Rise of Skywalker is my least favorite Star Wars film, because it doesn't do anything original, it doesn't respect its legacy, and it doesn't respect itself. It doesn't respect anything Star Wars. It feels like we have Star Wars at home. It feels like somebody that's
Yeah.
It feels like somebody for D&D, for Connor and I as D&D players and DMs. It feels like somebody made a Star Wars campaign and made their NPC the main character.
Yeah.
And then centered it around that plot point.
It is.
with the
It does
lore
kind
the
of
world.
feel like that.
This trilogy, ever since this franchise, and you can say the same about Marvel ever since Disney bought Marvel. Any franchise that Disney has bought, all these franchises are suffering from just crunch and not being given proper direction, and now we are floating in this weird space where Disney doesn't care because each movie made over $1 billion. Rise of Skywalker is the least successful profit-wise, but netted over $1.033 billion at the box office.
Yeah, it's still raked in a lot of money.
And, like, it feels like they're not gonna do anything different because they're throwing shit. They're like Nintendo. They throw stuff out that could be interesting into the wind, don't advertise it, and then advertise the wrong things to fill in the gaps to excuse their dog shit stuff. And it doesn't work, and that is such a failure pit trap so many free media franchises like Marvel recently have fallen into. Star Wars is just in this weird limbo now, and we'll go into this with the shows when we do the show episodes. It's in this weird limbo now where it doesn't know what it wants to do, and it's trying to bridge the gap, it feels like, for nostalgia between the original trilogy and what it wants to do to make itself look better. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. So that's my take on the sequel trilogy. Could have been great. Whatever.
It should have been great.
It should have been great.
All right.
Fuck Rise of Skywalker.
Fuck Last Jedi.
Fuck that too, but in a lesser degree. In A minor.
Nah, I'm gonna be like, hey, it's F minus.
F minus?
That's F minus. Rise of Skywalker is like at least an F plus. Like,
Connor said F flat. I said F sharp.
All right.
Your thoughts on it?
You already gave my thoughts. I think this trilogy is disappointing. It started off really strong.
Yeah.
Ended off really disappointing. And as far as I'm concerned, it's 6 movies and not 9.
And
Agreed.
that's the joy of being
Maybe
a fan.
7 if I feel like being nice.
And that's the joy of being a fan, though, in my opinion, is that you can decide your own canon with something like Star Wars if you want.
Star Wars, I think, leaves a lot of room for that.
It does. It really does.
All right. Let us know in the sorry. First of all, if you're watching along with us, next time we are talking about the independent films. So we're talking about Solo, The Clone Wars, and Rogue One.
Yep. I'm so excited for Rogue One. Rogue One is
I'm
up
excited. These are the last of the movies, and then we get into the TV shows.
Starting with Ewoks and droids.
With Ewoks and droids, which I'm
What
really
a way
excited
to
to talk
start.
about. Our question for this episode is, what is your favorite trilogy of the Skywalker saga?
And why is it alien titty milk scene?
And no, I hate that scene.
Just that scene alone. That scene, but across 9 movies.
And what is your opinion on the sequel trilogy? Did you agree with us or did you disagree? And it's okay either way. Thanks for hanging out with us, Connor, especially. We're great to have you, buddy.
Great episode to have you on, quite frankly.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of hoping it would be something like the shows or the original trilogy, but
no. Can I really do something really quick? This is my idea.
I figured.
Meg was like, "We gotta have Connor on for an episode," and I know exactly the episode we should do. We'll have you on for another Star Wars episode, maybe, sure. Yeah. But I figured this was the best because this is the most opinionated of all the Star Wars medias I feel like you could be, and it's a great thing, and I love it about you.
It's definitely the one I'm the most argumentative about.
And you know what? That's what I love about you, buddy.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us in the Catch-Up Corner. We will see you next time when it's just Benson and I again.
And may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Yeah!